Once upon a time, in a land of sun-kissed shores and rugged mountains called Iberia, there lived a mosaic of peoples whose fates intertwined like threads in a grand tapestry. This is the tale of how a patchwork of tribes, invaders and dreamers wove themselves into the kingdom we now know as Spain. In the ancient mists of time, long before kings and empires, prehistoric wanderers roamed the peninsula, hunting under vast skies and painting their stories on cave walls. As ages turned, they settled into farming villages, forging bronze tools and iron wills. Tribes emerged, the fierce Iberians along the eastern coasts, Celts in the wild interior, Lusitanians in the west, and Tartessians in the sunny south. Seafaring strangers arrived too. Phoenicians from distant Tyre founded gleaming outposts like Gadir, now Cadiz, trading spices and secrets. Greeks followed, planting colonies such as Empúries, bringing gods and grapes. But peace was fleeting. In the shadow of great wars, Carthage, a mighty North African power born from Phoenician roots, claimed southern Iberia, building strongholds like Carthago Nova, modern Cartagena. Then came the clash of titans, Rome versus Carthage in the Punic Wars. Hannibal Barca, the daring Carthaginian general, marched his elephants from Iberia over the Alps to challenge Rome itself. Yet Rome prevailed, driving out the Carthaginians by 206 BC. Over 2 centuries, Roman legions subdued the peninsula, battling resilient tribes like the Celtiberians, and finally conquering the north in the Cantabrian Wars under Emperor Augustus in 19 BC. Under Roman rule, Iberia bloomed as Hispania. Cities rose like Tarragona, Merida, and Zaragoza, connected by straight roads and arched aqueducts. Olive oil, wine, and silver flowed to the empire's heart. Locals embraced Latin tongues, Roman gods, and later the whisperings of Christianity. Hispania gifted Rome luminaries, philosophers like Seneca, poets like Martial, and emperors Trajan and Hadrian. But empires crumble. In the 5th century AD, as Rome faltered, Germanic tribes surged in, Vandals, Suebi, Alans, carving kingdoms from the chaos. The Visigoths, mighty warriors from the east, unified the land by the late 6th century, ruling from Toledo, blending Roman laws with their own. Then, in 711 AD, a storm from across the sea changed everything. Muslim armies, Arabs and Berbers, led by Tariq ibn Ziyad, crossed the Strait of Gibraltar, exploiting Visigothic infighting. They crushed King Roderick at Guadalete and swept northward, conquering nearly all by 718. Only a northern sliver held out, birthing the Christian kingdom of Asturias. The Muslims called their realm Al-Andalus, a jewel in the Umayyad Caliphate. Under emirs and caliphs in Córdoba, it sparkled with knowledge, libraries brimmed, philosophers like Averroes pondered stars, and Jewish scholars like Maimonides bridged worlds. Crops like rice flourished in irrigated fields, silks and steels gleamed in markets. The great mosque of Córdoba and Alhambra Palace stood as testaments to beauty born of tolerance. Muslims, Christians, and Jews coexisted in La Convivencia, though not without tensions. Yet fragmentation came. By the 11th century, Al-Andalus splintered into taifas, rival principalities. Northern Christian kingdoms, Leon, Castile, Navarre, Aragon, Portugal, grew bold, launching the Reconquista, a centuries-long crusade to reclaim the south. Warriors like El Cid rode between worlds, serving both sides. Berber empires from Africa, the Almoravids and Almohads, bolstered Muslim defences, but the tide turned at Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212. Christians surged, seizing most lands by 1250, leaving only Granada as a Muslim holdout. In 1469, fate smiled. Isabella of Castile wed Ferdinand of Aragon, uniting crowns. Their Catholic monarchs conquered Granada in 1492, ending Islamic rule after 781 years. That same year, they expelled Jews who wouldn't convert, unleashed the Inquisition to enforce faith, and funded Christopher Columbus's voyage. His sails caught winds to the Americas, birthing a Spanish empire vast as oceans, conquering Aztecs and Incas, claiming lands from Mexico to the Philippines. Gold and silver poured in, fueling grandeur. The throne passed to Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor, whose domain spanned Europe and beyond, the empire on which the sun never sets. His son Philip II centralized power in Madrid, battling Protestants in the Netherlands, sending the Armada against England to disastrous end, and crushing Ottomans at Lepanto. Spain's golden age flowered. Velázquez painted kings, El Greco captured souls, Cervantes spun Don Quixote's dreams, and Escorial Palace loomed majestic. But glory faded, wars like the 30 Years drained coffers. Portugal broke free in 1640. France nibbled territories. By 1700, the last Habsburg died heirless, sparking the War of Spanish Succession. Bourbon. Philip V emerged king, ushering reforms. Enlightened kings like Charles I built roads, boosted science, curbed the church. Then Napoleon struck. In 1708, he installed his brother as king, igniting the Peninsular War. Spaniards rose in guerrilla fury, aided by Wellington's British, expelling the French by 1814. But colonies rebelled too. By 1825, most of Latin America was free, shrinking Spain's world. The 19th century swirled with chaos, Carlist wars over succession, Isabella II's turbulent reign, a fleeting republic, Bourbon restoration under Alfonso XII. In 1898, the Spanish-American War stripped away Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines. The disaster of '98. The 20th century dawned stormy. Alfonso XIII navigated neutrality in World War I, but defeat in Morocco sparked Primo de Rivera's 1923 dictatorship. It crumbled. The Second Republic rose in 1931, promising reforms but fracturing society. In 1936, Franco's coup ignited the Civil War, nationalists versus Republicans, backed by Nazis, fascists, Soviets. Atrocities scarred the land. Franco triumphed in 1939, ruling with iron fist till 1975, suppressing dissent, promoting Catholicism, yet sparking an economic miracle in the 1960s. Upon Franco's death, King Juan Carlos defied expectations, guiding Spain to democracy. Elections in 1977, a constitution in 1978, NATO and EU membership followed. Prosperity bloomed. Olympics in Barcelona, booming tourism. But crises like 2008's recession and Catalan separatism tested resilience. Today, Spain endures, a vibrant democracy, where echoes of Celts, Romans, Moors, and explorers dance in flamenco rhythms and paella scents. From upheaval rose unity, a nation forever transforming. Its story a reminder that from diverse threads comes enduring strength, and so the tapestry continues to weave.